Hi guys, it's Wednesday and that means rock and roll. But today we're not really looking at classic rock. We're looking at a musician who was one of the proponents of new wave music back in the late 70s, and that is Elvis Costello. Now, he did a number of albums, early 70s or late 70s to early 80s, that I think were some of his best work. One of my favorites, again, his debut album, Elvis Costello, My Aim Is True, which featured some classic hits: Allison, Watching the Detectives, Waiting for the End of the World, Angels Want to Wear My Red Shoes. Songs that really defined Elvis Costello at that time. Now, I know he's evolved since then. He's done a number of albums, and he kind of got away from this style of music. But for me, this is really what Elvis Costello was all about, and this is my favorite period of his recording. Second album, another classic, This Year's Model. Radio, No Action. A lot of great hits on here. By this time, he's actually formed his band. First album, he had a backup band called Clover, which some of the members went on to join Huey Lewis and the News. This one, he's formed the Attractions, so he's actually got a backup band playing with him. This would be the band he would tour with. Third album was another great one, Armed Forces. I'll just show you the other side of that album as well, which one they used for the cover. Again with the Attractions, Oliver's Army, Accidents Will Happen, and to me, one of the classic songs, and this is one written by producer Nick Lowe, was What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. Just a great tune. Elvis went on, and he did one more album that I have on my list here, is one called Get Happy. A lot of short tunes. Again, quite a bit different from what he had done in My Aim Is True or on This Year's Model. But again, classic Elvis. And Motel Matches, Human Touch, Temptation, The Imposter, which I thought was just a classic, High Fidelity. A lot of great tunes, a little shorter. Quite a long list on this one. Not your usual 6 songs per side. Songs are a little shorter, but they're still pretty punchy and pretty exciting. Now, what connects all these together? The first one we had a backup band. This next 3 here, we had the Attractions with them. But the common denominator in all these were producer Nick Lowe. And I think some of Elvis's best work was done when Nick Lowe was producing for him. He certainly defined the sound, defined what Elvis Costello was at that time. And he also defined the sound in a sense that when he was working with Dave Edmunds, they still had that same kind of appeal. So I think these artists, a lot of Nick Lowe came through in what they were doing. And I found once Elvis left and went to another producer at the Imperial Bedroom, when he started producing himself, it just wasn't the same. Nick Lowe, to me, defined what Elvis Costello was about at that period. And there was one more album that was worth taking a look at, and here we are. And this one was a lot of B-sides from singles, songs that didn't get released on the album, a chance to hear songs that, it was almost like a new album, but it was old material that they were re-releasing. Now, he did do an album called Almost Blue, again, which was quite a departure from what he had done. It was his country album, and it may have been a little too soon. Every now and then you get artists that want to show their diversity, want to show what they can do, and they try something different. Not that any of the songs were bad. He did some good tunes on there, and he did them well, but people weren't really ready for a country album from Elvis Costello. So, just in recapping, to find out what new wave was all about, and if you've just come to Elvis Costello in later years and see what he's doing now, here's a chance to go back and find out where he came from and how Nick Lowe actually shaped that persona and that style of music. So we had Aim Is True, This Year's Model, Armed Forces, the classic Get Happy, and the one that brings us hits from the past and unheard, Taking Liberties. Okay, that's it for today. See you on Friday when we'll be looking at comedy again. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you on Friday.